My biggest takeaway from 49ers rookie minicamp is that the Niners should have signed David Njoku. Yo, welcome to Huddle Up, sponsored by Prize Picks. We're your host, Grant Cohn, Brandon Deutsch. We're going to be talking all about the Niners rookies. George Kittle, how optimistic the Niners seem to be that he's going to be making a full recovery super fast, all kind of stuff. But I want to talk rookies that aren't named Dejon Stribbling and Kalen Black. We've heard about them ad nauseum. We've seen them run in circles, in squares, in triangles, in hexagons, and we can see them break down and make cool cuts. And it's some people see T.O. Some people see Terrell Davis when they look at these guys. I want to talk about how about Romello Height? We've all seen videos of him on the Niners wearing 94, warming up with the defensive lineman. Here's my first impression of Romello Height. They're really making him a defensive end, which is surprising to me. He's wearing 94. He's with Chris Kacerek. He has his hand in the dirt. He's not doing a 2-point stance. Doesn't seem like he's being used as an outside linebacker. They could do that. Linebacker. They could do that at some point. But I thought the point of drafting Romello Height, who's 239 pounds, was it signaled a philosophical shift, a schematic shift to a 3-4 defense, someone who could be, rushing from a standing up position, but also the ability to drop into coverage. Maybe they'll install that later, but the first look at Romello Height is he is the skinniest defensive end I have ever seen on this practice field. And if that's the position he's going to be Bryce Huff. He'll be playing on third down, and that's it. And it's a little underwhelming to me.
For a third-round pick, if he turns into Bryce Huff, honestly, I'm cool with that. I don't expect him to be much more than Bryce Huff. Bryce Huff, remember, has an elite first step. It sucks he retired because then they wouldn't have had to draft Height. They could have drafted a plug-and-play guard instead, But I think Height will be fine. I told you, my thoughts on him, I'm still concerned that he had one good season in college, and it happened to be when he was 3 years older than mostly everybody else and playing alongside David Bailey, the best pass rusher in the country, and Lee Hunter, the best nose tackle in the country. So that concerns me a little bit. But the tape screams like first step is excellent. I'm a little concerned against good offensive tackles, how he'll fare. But on third down, he should at least take pressure off of Bosa if Bosa can be on the field. And really, it's all he needs to do. So I don't think it's a horrible pick. I never said it was a horrible pick at the time. Thought it was one of their better picks. I think he'll be fine. I'm thinking 4 sacks this year, maybe.
If you're drafting a guy to just go forward and be your designated pass rusher, I mean, he might be great at 239 pounds, but it seems like at 239, you're not going to have any power. So you're going to be full speed. And we'll see if he has the speed and quickness to beat offensive tackles around the edge and counter to the inside. He may. Bryce Huff was 255 pounds, had a tiny little bit of power. It just seems like if you're looking at a 239-pound edge rusher, you're doing so because you run a 3-4 and you really want someone who can make plays in coverage sometimes as well, which is what Romello Height did in college. So again, maybe they're going to have that. I'm sure they're going to install it at some point. It just seemed surprising that his number is 94 and he's working out with they're so married to the wide 9. Is it that great of a front that they need to make Romello Height? If you wanted, it seems I still think they wanted Malachi Lawrence. He's bigger. Oh, yeah. He would be a 4-3 D end in this system, and they missed out.
Well, I mean, look, to this day, if they had stayed at 27 and then the Cowboys didn't pick Lawrence, I think they would have picked Lawrence. I know they claim Stribbling was our guy all along. Oh, there was a few players on the board that we liked, like Casey Concepcion and
those
Malachi
two.
Lawrence. That was the guy they wanted. I would have loved the pick. I was in the minority. I would have said Malachi Lawrence would have been a great pick at 20. And now looking at the draft, I should have went in with lower expectations. Just say that.
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, we talk about the 3-4 a lot and base defense, but the fact of the matter is the trend in the NFL is to use your base defense as little as possible. And the best defenses use it pretty much not at all. I'm talking Houston and Seattle. So you really do need to have a 4-down front that's, a bunch of 3-down players. I mean, 4 defensive linemen, not necessarily that 3-4 outside linebacker. That guy's kind of getting phased out. We're seeing more safeties on the field as that 11th player. So if that's what the Niners envisioned for Romello, I guess I just felt like if you were going to draft him as an outside linebacker, okay, now you just potentially got yourself a 3-down player in round 3. That's a great value, even if he's 25. But if he's just a designated pass rusher and he's 25, I'm less enthusiastic about the pick. Although, like you said, if you got like Bryce Huff was an undrafted free agent, but if you had taken him in round 3, you'd still be pretty happy about that pick, I think.
Yeah, I mean, another thing is I just didn't understand the direction of the draft. Like you mentioned, with the safeties being so important, I know we're going to talk about it. They're cool with Marquis Siegel and Jair Brown, and it's like Emmanuel McNeil Warren was right there too. There were other safeties, Zakee Wheatley, like Michael Taft weren't picked till very late. Bishop Fitzgerald, they didn't even sign as an undrafted free agent. Instead, they went with Stroman, who runs like a 4.8 at safety, so he's never going to be on the field, right? Because he's
Yeah.
too slow. So, like, I just didn't get the philosophy from that sense. They could have taken the Dame Tucker in round as an undrafted free agent. He signed with the Chargers, and he had just as good, almost as good. Romello, I did lead the country in pass rush win rate, but almost as good pass rush. I know it was at Western Michigan, but still, I would have preferred him as an undrafted free agent and just went Jennings Dunker there or a safety, to be honest.
It's interesting that the Niners always draft defensive linemen early on, and they don't have great results. They keep doing it. The Seahawks, which to me are kind of the standard right now, and they keep picking after the Niners. They don't really draft defensive linemen like that. They took Byron Murphy, but they bring in guys in like trades and free agency. DeMarcus Lawrence, Dante Fowler, Chenna Nwosu, none of them drafted by the Seahawks. They drafted DBs, Bud Clark, Julian Neal, which is what the Niners don't do. They might want to think about that a little bit. Like, yeah, you could take Romello Height in round 3, and he's 25, and he might be, worth it. Or you could just get Dante Fowler, is he worse? He's older. He's probably, he's available. It's not that hard to find guys like that on the scrap heap. And you know exactly what you're going to get from them. I'm just saying, like, maybe you want to be more like the Seattle Seahawks.
I know they gave Fowler. They only gave him $6 million. Same thing with Njoku. They could have given $8 million. The Chargers got him for $8 million. They don't even need a tight end really. They have Gadsden, and they're like, cool, we'll just take him.
Yep.
But
the Niners have Luke Farrell, so it's okay.
But that's another thing. They're cheap. They spent money poorly, and now they want to be like, okay, let's just save our $71 million in cap space and do nothing with it.
It's the Niners are the haves and the have-nots, and they're cool giving more and more money to the 9 players who have on this team, but they're reluctant to just throw money at other players because then they'd have to invite them to Cabo, and that'd be awkward.
Honestly, you want me to be real with you about this? Like, I'm real about everything. I shouldn't have even said honestly. I speak my points, but like Dre Greenlaw, I'm shocked came back to the Niners after they disrespected him last offseason. He should not show loyalty to the franchise for what they did to him. Personally.
But he's desperate though, because it didn't go well for him in Denver, and now he's trying to get his career back together. He just wants
to play with his homie with Fred, which is great. I'm all for it, but it's so weird.
I doubt he had a lot of options.
Yeah, for sure, because he's coming off of an injury, and Denver ate the money, whatever. But they are so reluctant to pay or to actually go and get players that are young and can help the team long term and now. Why wouldn't they trade next year's 5th round pick and send somebody else for Kayvon Thibodeau? If it's a third, it costs money.
So this is cheaper, right? This is a cheaper way to do it. I feel like Romello Height. How old is Kayvon Thibodeau? I just want to know.
He's the same age as Romello Height, isn't he?
He is, right?
He's 25. Bryce Huff is almost the same age as Romello Height. Bryce Huff is only a year older than me. He's 28 years old.
I'm just not as enthusiastic about if he were wearing number 56 and he were warming up with KJ Wright, I'd be like, wow, this is really cool. But he's wearing 94, warming up with Chris Kasarik trying to play. We remember Leonard Floyd on the Niners in the wide 9. It wasn't exciting. He couldn't play that. He wasn't a 3-down player. Remember that?
No, but Leonard Floyd was fantastic in the 3-4 with Raheem.
Yeah.
So, that's what I'm saying. You brought in a DC, and they're just so prideful, Grant. This is the big issue. And I think universally 49ers fans would agree. Now, they could hate some points you and I both make, but, universally we can agree that their pride is the death of them. That's why they don't have a Super Bowl ring. Why did you bring in this DC for him to run?
They always have just a mishmash of philosophies. They just have a mishmash of philosophies. You know what I mean? How does so you let John Lynch make the picks, and he's going to ask the coaches what they want, and you ask Raheem Morris, what kind of edge rusher he wants. He's always going to want one of these really small outside linebacker types. But then but then he has to play DN because you still have Chris Kasarik. How does Chris Kasarik fit anyway? That's enough for Romello hype. I want to talk about a rookie that I was enthusiastic about. The defensive tackle, Grayson Halton. First impression of him, he's way smaller than the defensive linemen the Niners have had in the past. He's way smaller than like CJ West. I mean, like thinner, more compact than Alfred Collins. But he's built like Oso Digizua,
Yep.
who was a mid-round pick as well. And
Mhm.
I get the feeling that this guy is going to be actually really good. I don't know what kind of run defender he's going to be in the wide nine. The Niners might not need to like tweak their front a little bit, but he looks like he was a running back in high school at 250 pounds. Then
Freak
he went
athlete.
to Oklahoma and was there as an edge rusher and just gradually became bigger and a defensive tackle. He didn't go to 5 schools. He stayed at Oklahoma the whole time, and he seems like has a really interesting athletic profile, and he has a ton of confidence. You can't really see how good he is, but I'm just in rookie minicamp without competition, but like just getting to know him and talk to him and see him, he looks like a guy who definitely fits a position, isn't way too small. I actually am optimistic that he could become a starter for this team, a 3-down player. Grayson Halton.
There's no doubt in my mind. I think it happens this year. Like I think he can eclipse Collins. I know Collins is a run stuffer and he's excellent at that, right? Halton has
2-down
more
player though.
yeah, but
Yeah.
Halton has versatility.
Yeah.
Like I was watching his tape and I was shocked how good he was against the run for his size. Now, NFL is a different animal than college, but I said it at the time. Halton was one of my favorite defensive tackles in the class, and I said it. He will be the Pro Bowler from this draft class. It's going to be him. Like I have no doubt that him and Osa can become one of the best D tackle tandems in the league. And I will always give Lynch, despite what I criticize about his drafting, I will always give him credit in the sense that he pulls off really good trades. Like I think Osa is going to pay huge dividends. Christian McCaffrey paid huge dividends, right? Like Chase Young for a time paid dividends until he got lazy, like, but he was a solid, he had solid contributions throughout the regular season. I will give Lynch credit there. And I think Houghton is the perfect young pupil for Osa, who was a similar round pick, like you said, to teach him and create this front. And Collins can be used as a 2-down. And that's why I didn't like the Collins pick at the time. Like, we all know he can stop the run. It doesn't take a genius to figure out, right? Like, why do you take him in round 2? I want 3-down players. That's the thing. It seems like they take one-dimensional guys throughout their entire draft. Right, Grant? Like that's the issue here.
Yeah. Especially early. I want to compare Osa and Grayson Halton. I mean,
Yeah,
they
let's do it.
both Osa was a 3rd-round pick. He went to UCLA for 4 years. He had 11 and a half sacks in 4 years. Grayson Halton had, well, he didn't really do much his first 2 years, but he had 5 sacks as a junior, 3.5 sacks as a senior. Osa had 4 sacks as a senior, 3.5 sacks as a junior, 3 sacks as a sophomore, 1 as a freshman. So they had similar production. Osa played only 7 games his senior year and had 4 sacks. So maybe there's a reason he went in round 4 and Grayson Halton went in round 3. But I think they're kind of like similarly graded prospects. Um, so that's exciting. The only thing I would say is like, again, similar to Romello Height, if they were going to go to a Rams style 5-man front, which is what the Rams use, then Grayson Halton could be Braden Fiskey or Kobe Turner. It's like the same physical profile, and he could start and be a 3-down player. But in the Niners wide nine, I wouldn't feel great about having him start because I think he'd get moved around in the run game. I'd rather have Alfred Collins
Yeah.
start. So if they're married to the wide nine, Romello Height and Grayson Halton are designated pass rushers, 3rd-down specialists, which is okay, but I think there's so much more potential there if they actually uh, tailor their scheme to the strengths of their players, which is what Raheem Morris said he was going to do.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree more. They need to run this 3-4. They need to run more of what Raheem wants to run, and therefore they can optimize the defensive players that Raheem helped them draft.
Yeah, like don't make the Steve Wilkes mistake again, right? He was a 3-4
Like,
guy, came in, you're like, guess what? You're running the wide nine and you're gonna learn it and run it at the same time. It's cool
but
though.
only the Niners would draft Raheem type players, small, skinny edge rushers, and a small DT that can rush the passer for the 3-4. yet still run a wide 9. Only they would do that, man. The logic just isn't there.
Yep.
Oh, we don't want to have Nick Bosa learn how hard is it to learn a different defense, man? These guys have been in the league forever. Like, they know how to run shit.
Because it's
Right?
like,
Like,
look, if you want to play nickel, have a 4-man front like Seattle, a big reason they had the best run defense in the league last year. Number one, without playing base, without playing 8 in the box, because Leonard Williams is like 310, 315-pound freaking monster, and Byron Murphy's like the same. Those guys can control a lot in the middle on their own. Like, that's not Grayson Halton. That's not
no.
Osa Diazua. These guys are smaller, quicker, penetrating defensive tackles like what the Rams have. So the Niners have to decide. Kyle has to decide what he wants to be on defense. And I've never really been a big fan of bringing in a DC like Morris and saying, guess what? You're working with Chris Kasarik. It works with Saleh because Saleh hired Chris Kasarik.
And
And
he
then
runs the
D'Amico was
wide
there at
9.
the same time, but like Wilkes
Yeah.
didn't know him, and Morris has never met him. Doesn't know.
We'll see what happens. I mean, I do
Wide
think
9, dude.
their defense is going to be better unequivocally. Like, there's no as long as they're healthier, like, it'll be better. I believe it because, dude, they added Osa, and basically they add Fred Warner and Nick Bosa. So even if their scheme is worse, which it inevitably will be under Morris than Saleh, like, it'll be better. He just won't get Raheem is not going to get more out of these like lower tier players like Saleh did. Like, he's not going to turn Eric Kendricks back the clock 10 years, right? Like, or Garrett Wallow looking like decent out there all of a sudden. He's not going to be
I'm
able to do that.
afraid that Raheem Morris's defense is going to be getting gouged in the run game and giving up explosives while they're trying to get turnovers. Because they brought him in to get sacks and picks, which may happen, but his run defense won't be as good. I mean, Romello height is 239. I
I'm
don't
with you.
think that if you look at the defensive players they brought in, there was no regard for run defense whatsoever. I think he's thinking like Saleh took care of that. Let me try to bring this defense a different direction. We'll see if it works. Again, Raheem has a very mediocre track record statistically with his defenses, and he's been a coach for a long time.
I would actually at this point, yes, stopping the run typically translates in winning championships, but at this point they don't have a lot of depth, Grant, and that's why I'm like cool with them giving up some big plays as long as they can force turnovers, which they will desperately need. I would rather watch paint dry than watch their defense last year. They couldn't force a turnover to save their life. I'd rather have turnovers and sacks. They couldn't get pressure on the quarterback. They couldn't, like, I think at least this will make their corners look better, which they need. They need to raise the value of Renardo Green if they want to trade him next offseason. They need to raise the value of Upton Stout in Lenore just in case they need to move on for one of them, right? Like, they need Marquis Siegel to have less pressure on him in the secondary, and same with Jair Brown, right? Like, that's why I think they're going to rush the passer more and give up the runs. I'm cool with that, honestly, because last year didn't work. So, I mean, let's try something. You can win a Super Bowl without stopping much of the run. You can. The Rams did it a few times. Like,
The
they
last
did it.
2 Super Bowl winners had great run defenses.
I know. But
And again,
I
it's
don't
about stopping the run without overcommitting to it, because offenses want you to play base and play 8 in the box, and the Seahawks don't do that. And I'm curious to see, can the Niners I just don't know what they're trying to be right now. We'll see. It seems like they're committed to the wide 9, but they're moving to smaller players, which is a recipe for being gashed in the ground.
I mean, let's be real. Their first two, like the first 2 downs, is going to be Alfred Collins, CJ West, Keon White, Nick Bosa to start the year, probably.
The way the Seahawks do it again is they have a big D line and they come at you in waves. They have a bunch of freaking guys. They come at you in waves. The Niners don't. Well,
they don't
they're
have
adding
the personnel.
to it.
They don't have the personnel. Like, is Jalen Duggar going to turn into Nick Emenworry? Like,
well, let's keep going to more draft picks in our first. Let's talk Carver Willis. My first impression of Carver Willis is that he might be my favorite draft pick, and this is based on nothing. I haven't even seen him in a one-on-one drill or an 11-on-11 yet. I've talked to him. I've seen him in action. I like the fact that he was a starting left tackle at a big-time program for a long time. Never got benched. Was relied upon at that spot, even though he really isn't built like a left tackle. He's a left guard. You see him, he looks like a starting left guard. He's very balanced. He's very in control of. He doesn't move like he's 300 plus pounds, but he is. I would rather draft a left tackle to play left guard than to draft a left guard to play left guard. Because to me, I'm thinking the best offensive linemen are playing left tackle in college. And this guy did for a hell of a long time at Washington. So just listening to him, he sounds like a very, very smart, confident, professional right now who's going to step in and take this job from Robert Jones and Connor Colby. And frankly, they need him to. And I keep going back to Chris Forrester, the other Chris on the coaching staff.
Smart guy.
I think he might be the best position coach they have. I mean, they don't give him a ton to work with. He doesn't ask for a lot to work with. He's asking for like day 3 picks, but he turned Colton McKivitz into a multimillionaire. He turned Jake Brendel into a multimillionaire. He's working on Dominic Pooney. If anyone can make Carver Willis like a solid to better than solid starting guard, it's Forrester. And I expect him to start right away. I like what I see from Carver Willis so far.
I mean, I'd rather have him start than Toth or, Jones or
Toth.
whatever, however you pronounce his last name.
Yeah,
Toth,
like Toth is a center. Don't move a center out to left guard. Move a left tackle into left guard.
But they said he was competing for the job, right? So, like, why Connor Colby is another guy. Like, I actually am fine with Connor Colby in the run game. He just can't. If you put him on passing downs, you're screwed. And there's no point in just subbing out a guard.
Unfortunately, you got to pass sometimes.
Yeah, you know what I mean. They don't have the personnel. Well, maybe with Kalen Black.
But that's what I'm talking about. Like Connor Colby was a left guard at Iowa, which is a great system and a great school, but he just doesn't have the athleticism to actually pass protect in the NFL the way that I think Carver Willis does. He lacks a little length, but so does Grace Abel.
Yeah, but a Cruz can also pass protect at the NFL level. It seems like
another
he has
tackle.
A lot of upside.
Yeah,
he's a tackle. But like again, like I agree with you. He's the best coach on the team besides Kyle. Like he's actually developed. Even Aaron Banks, he turned into a pretty good player. Jalen Moore, Spencer Burford got a deal. Like
no doubt.
These are guys.
Aaron
guys
Banks got paid.
These are guys that should be out of the league, Grant. Like that's how good of a coach he is. Like
Jalen Moore, you said him, right?
Who?
Jalen Moore?
Yeah, I said Jalen Moore. Like Chiefs gave him 25 million.
Yeah.
Dude is a straight, like average at best guard, right? Like, or tackle. So like the guy is a genius, which is why I actually think like Cruz and Willis could work out. Like there are tackles and guards I liked more on the board, but if he sees the vision, I'll trust him. I will.
It's crazy they don't get, like, you remember what the Eagles used to do with their offensive line coach, whose name escapes me right now, but he was always regarded he was always regarded as the best, and they would bring in guys like, here's a guy who'd never played football before, but he's the best athlete ever, and he comes from New Zealand, and it's like, boom, he's the best left tackle in football. Only Jeff Stoutland, right? And it's like, you'd like to see the Niners give Forrester some prospects like that at offensive tackle, because he really left tackle, because he seems like he's done a good job developing nobodies into starters at every other position.
Yeah, so why don't they let him get I think next year's the year they're actually going to take a tackle in the first round. I think they will.
Maybe they're just afraid of upsetting Trent Williams. They're just like, if we take one, Trent will. No, I don't know.
I mean, but McKivitz, this is the second year of his deal, or is it the first year of his new extension coming up?
It's the first year. No, I think his new extension kicks in this year.
Okay, so he's 2 more years, I guess. But like, dude, Trent is 38 years old. What does he expect, bro? Like, Trent Williams is going to be probably cut at the end of next season, and they'll eat the cap hit. They'll find a way around it.
Yeah, right, man. If they're going to hold on to Kyle Juszczyk until he's 40, they're going to hold on to Trent Williams until he's 50.
Trent is actually a Pro Bowl. Well, Kyle Juszczyk is a Pro Bowler, but that's because no one plays fullback, not because he's actually great at football. But like, Juszczyk is literally just there for the vibes. He's just a good teammate to these guys, you know? It's like he's like Jared Dudley. Remember Jared Dudley on the Lakers? Never played and just was like a hype man off the bench. Except they actually didn't play him, but they actually play Juszczyk on fourth and 1. They give him
Stribling's not going to get on the field this year because Juszczyk has to be out there. All right, moving on. Back to defense. Ephesians Prysock. You probably saw some videos of him. That's the most. I talked to him. I saw him on the field. I saw him do some special teams. My really only takeaway is that, yeah, dude, wow, 6'4", super big, super long arms. Definitely seems to have like the potential to grow into a very intriguing cornerback or safety. I mean, I have no idea. It seems like he could do either one, but just first impression, not playing anytime soon. Red shirt, not an NFL body. I mean, I know even at corner, you don't have to be the most physical guy, but he just looked like a college player to me.
I don't know. I think he's going to play right away.
You think so?
Yeah, because who's the alternative as the fourth corner? Luter?
Well, they did sign Hobbs and Jack Jones. So those are people that the
Yeah.
current staff is invested in. And it just seemed like Prysock, where they took him in a weak draft, they're looking at him as more of a project, which is cool. It's nice to have a project, but I think it's more of like a no rush with Prysock. He's got big time traits, big time potential, but
Yeah.
I think he probably
But
I wouldn't be surprised if he flat out redshirted his rookie
yeah,
year, was a healthy scratch every week, and he comes back next year if he's dedicated, yoked, and ready to participate.
I think they should cut Luter first off, is what I'll say, because
I
then they
think they
can,
will.
yeah, Prysock can be the fifth or sixth guy,
Six, yeah.
which is fine. Fourth, I was saying in terms of like where he'll actually play, which is either safety or
I wouldn't
he'll
be surprised if he takes Renardo Green's spot at some point.
yeah, he's like Renardo Green's backup, right? Because Demo's
Yeah.
gonna Demo's
I don't
already
think
out of
they're gonna give
position.
Renardo Green an extension. It doesn't look like it's going that
Yeah,
direction.
but Hobbs is Stout's back or Hobbs is Stout's
And
backup
Jack
because he's
Jones
gonna
is like,
yeah, he's fine. He'll be
he's okay.
Lenore's backup. He'll be
Yep.
Lenore's backup. And then
Yeah.
Prysuck will be Green's backup. But one of
Yep.
these guys is inevitably going to get hurt. Knock on wood. Hope they don't get hurt. But like,
Right.
that's football. Like you're gonna lose corners. So like that's why I think Prysock's gonna play. I just don't know if it's gonna be at safety or outside corner. Like he'll play somewhere. I like Green. Again, this goes back to the point. If they can get pressure on the quarterback, Green will look like 10 times the player he was last year if they can actually get pressure on the quarterback.
We've seen the Niners have some success taking corners later, guys with starter traits. I mean, Diamondo Lenore taken around here even later. But again, I keep going back to the Seahawks because they're on such a heater, and it is a copycat league. And it's not like the Niners have won a bunch of Super Bowls where they can say like, we're just going to trust our process. Maybe you look around at your main rivals, the people who are standing in your way, and say like, how are they doing it? I can't help but notice that they have spent high picks on DBs, and the Niners haven't. It's been a decade. John Lynch was a Hall of Fame DB. Maybe the fact that he was a third round pick, he hates any DB taken higher than him because he was like, why should I draft? Why should you be drafted higher than me? I was freaking Hall of Fame. I don't get it. But they should
Yeah.
think about that. It's a very important position, and the Seahawks are winning Super Bowls, building their team that way.
I mean, Duggar's their third safety now, right? He's going to have to be. They don't really have another
Let's talk
one.
about him. First impression of Jaden Duggar. He's hella tall. He's probably the tallest off-ball linebacker I've ever seen, and maybe another long-term project. He is the Ephesians Prysock of linebackers. Really
Yeah,
impressive frame. You think like, man, in the future, if it all comes together and you put on some
that's
serious
that's
weight
their Nick
and
Emenward.
poundage,
Yeah,
you're going to be incredible. I think of him more as like a linebacker guy. Like he could be like a Fred. He could be Fred Warner in the sense that he'd be he'd be incredible at middle linebacker. How do you throw
yeah.
over him in zone
I
coverage? But he's
yeah,
years away.
he's years
Years
away, but I
away.
do
He
like that
looks like
pick.
a safety.
And I said that at the time. I like the pick because he can be their star, linebacker slash safety in like 2 years. But
Yeah.
they need players like that, Grant. Like this
Yeah.
team isn't getting any younger. So I actually said it at the time. Didn't know who he was when he was drafted. Saw some tape, liked the pick. Like that's where you take risks. You can reach on players in round 5, right? Like very productive once he switched positions. Very athletic, tall. I do think he's going to play safety though. If he plays in any game this year or next year, it's going to be at safety. I don't think it's going to be at linebacker, truly.
I
Because
think the thought process, I could be wrong, but I think what they like is having someone 6'4", 6'5" in those underneath zones that you have to throw over. It's
for
difficult. And
sure.
remember, they compared him to KJ Wright, who was an outside linebacker in Seattle. But again, he looks like a safety right now. If they played him right now, I don't think he could play linebacker. He doesn't have
No,
that kind of. He's not built like Dre Greenlaw.
which is why I said he's going to play safety if he plays anytime these next 2 years. I mean, they have Nick Martin. So, like, they have 3
Marquise
linebackers.
Siegel is more muscular than Jaden Duggar.
Well, but Marquise Siegel can get beat if he's put one-on-one with guys, like regularly. But I like Marquise Siegel. He works hard. Like,
I
I
like
don't know.
Marquise Siegel too. I think they like Marquise Siegel. We're going to talk about Marquise Siegel in a minute, but Jaden Duggar, I wouldn't be surprised if he was on the practice squad for a year or two.
Or
Like,
2.
who's that guy? Jalen Graham on the team? Jalen Graham,
Is he
the
still
new
on the
Jalen
team?
Graham. Yeah, he's the new Jalen Graham,
The
but
new
bigger,
Jalen
bigger.
Graham.
Yeah,
Like
man. Like, what is your
what do you mean?
position?
Like
And
the guy
like,
they
how many
drafted
years
in
are you
23?
looking like an NFL player, man? You were skinny.
Yeah, I guess. But is Graham still on the practice squad, bro?
I saw him.
Really?
I saw him there the other day.
They haven't cut him yet.
No, they keep bringing him back. He's their new
Kingston
Robert
too. Is
Gill.
Kingston still on the team on the practice squad?
Last draft pick. Enrique Cruz, he's interesting. Last one they took, and he's like even more athletic than Carver Willis. So I'm like, I think a lot of people are thinking, oh man, this guy, this is the shot in the dark to maybe be the offensive tackle that gets developed by Chris Forster. I don't think so, man. I'm looking at them in person. I'm thinking, whoa, like, okay, you ran fast in a straight line and you're clearly athletic, but you got benched at Syracuse, and that's why you had to transfer to Kansas. It seems like if he ever makes the team and is not just a practice squad guy, it'll be a guard, I would think. And again, like
Or
you could see Carver Willis, he looks very coordinated and balanced. Cruz
yeah,
doesn't look like that at all.
Carver
He looks
Willis
like a practice
reminds me a
squad.
lot of Pooney, like very
Yeah.
NFL ready. It seems like to play guard. It just wasn't that great at tackle, but seems like very ready to play. And I know Pooney had a center background too at Kansas, and they like these Kansas players. I mean, Pooney was at Kansas. Enrique Cruz should be good. I think if he does play tackle, it's going to be right tackle to replace McKivitz in 2 years. Like I don't think it's left tackle. Like they need someone better. The left tackle position is becoming that the most important position arguably on the field. All the best tackles play left tackle pretty much, right? Like almost every single one of them. Or they learn to play, like especially if you're a
Penei
run
Sewell
heavy
would be the
team.
exception. Lane
Yeah, just
Johnson.
Sewell. But
Yeah.
they're even thinking about moving that. Well, that's why they
Yes.
took Freeling. But
Yeah.
they were thinking about moving Sewell to left tackle, and he
Yeah.
could do it, right? Like you, especially on a run heavy team, zone team, like you're thinking left tackle has to be one of our best players, which is why I don't think Cruz, like if Cruz is your left tackle in 2 years or even next year, you're picking at the top of the draft, dude. Purdy's getting murdered out there. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Trent Williams hides a lot of the issues on that offensive line, which is why he got him by the balls and they had to pay him. So the only alternative is to actually give Forster a first round talent at tackle to replace Williams. And yes, then he could turn that guy into an incredible NFL player, right? Like it's not going to be a fifth rounder that's going to take Trent Williams' spot from Kansas, who got benched at Syracuse.
No, but to your point, I mean, he could be Colton McKivitz's backup or
Yes.
Dominic Mooney's backup.
Well, because I think McKivitz is going to require a lot of money in 2 years. He's still relatively young. He's been very productive. I don't think they're going to want to pay him. That'll be at the end of like the Bosa contract, Warner contract, Kittle contract. Like maybe they cut those guys in 2 years and sign him. But like I think that could be an inevitable cheap option to replace McKivitz. Like if Enrique Cruz turns into Colton McKivitz in 3 or 4 years, it would not shock me if that makes sense with what Chris Forrester's done as his background.
Yeah, I just want to temper expectations. Let me get Colton McKivitz up for a second. Let me look at him what he did in college. Because
he's better in
from
college.
He went to West Virginia for 4 years and didn't get benched like that. You know, like, and again, like this was supposed to be a very bad draft. So guys taken late 4th, 5th round, I think you might even want, I think the Niners were approaching those players for better or worse as priority free agents. So if Enrique Cruz gets waived, I don't think they're expecting anyone to put him on their 53. And I think there's a chance that they might start the season on the practice squad. Duggar.
No, but
well.
I mean, he's more athletic than McKivitz was as a prospect. He's not as fundamentally sound. He's not as good. But I'm just saying, if anybody can turn Enrique, if anybody can turn Colton McKivitz, he turned Colton McKivitz into a great player. Like I think he can turn Cruz into maybe at least a backup to Colton McKivitz, a swing tackle, and maybe even his replacement. That's his upside. But like I seen people saying he's so athletic he could take Trent's spot in 2 years.
No.
What the hell are we talking about, man? What drugs are those people on? Like he's not taking Trent Williams' spot.
Just like first impression though, Carver Willis looks like he has the body type and the background to play right away if they need him to, which they do. Enrique Cruz doesn't. But again, he definitely has the traits to be a worthwhile long-term project, and he has the coach to make it happen. So that's interesting. We got to pause for some prize picks. Where's Brandon? That's not it. There he is. There's the prize picks. We got, this is great because he's a Laker fan, and this series is really amusing me. I feel like the Thunder are currently burning down the NBA. No one likes them. They're the best team. They have the best player. Theoretically, they're going to go on this like Chicago Bulls run and everyone hates them, and it just they're just sort of like showing how poorly officiated the league is, which I feel like people have known for decades, but now everyone is upset because the freaking Oklahoma City Thunder and they're about to sweep the Lakers and LeBron James and they're going to ruin legacies. And it's just hilarious to me because basketball is kind of a second tier sport, but I like it. So let's ask a Laker fan to be real honest about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. What do you think? They've been clamping. He hasn't been getting the calls. 28.5 points, more or less.
That, you know what? It's funny because that line screams like more because he hasn't in a little bit. It's a closeout game. He probably gets like 25 in the first half, to be honest. I would go more.
You can hear the jadedness dripping from his voice. I appreciate it. I love it. I love
Yeah,
it. I have no dog in the fight. LeBron James, 23 points. He's getting a little tired, getting a little old.
more. I mean, it's going to be his last
Do or
game.
die.
He's going to
It's do or
go.
die.
He's going to shoot like 400 times in this game.
AJ Mitchell, 17 points. He's been their X factor.
Yeah, he's been great. I actually think less.
Okay.
I don't like when they go 5 in a row more. Like that just screams disaster. The line's way too high. There's no value there.
How about Austin Reeves? He's been inconsistent. 21.5 points, more or
Well,
less.
more. He wants a bag. Especially if this is their last game, he's going to need to like say, "Hey, I scored 35 in an elimination game." Like I tried
I
to
think
help
the whole
out.
league's hoping he gets that back from the Lakers.
He
Chet Holmgren,
will, unfortunately.
18 points, more or less.
Yeah.
Chet.
I mean, Aiden is soft, so go more. I actually played against Aiden in AAU in high
You did?
school. Yeah. He was,
Wow.
dude, we went one on one on a fast break because we're the same age. And I got out of the way. I should have went up with him. I didn't want to get dunked on. I still regret it. I should have
I
gotten dunked
respect
on
it.
by DeAndre Ayton. But now with considering
DeAndre
how
Ayton,
soft
9
he
points,
is,
more or less. You're not guarding him. What do you think?
if I was guarding him less, Holmgren's guarding him. You know what? There's been a lot of talk. I'm gonna go more. I think this is gonna be a game where he's like, "Screw you, haters," and like he scores like 20 points.
I love that. All right, we're submitting the lineup.
He has the
Download
talent,
Prize
dude. He's
Picks or
just
go to
soft.
prizepicks.com. Use promo code HMA. Play $5, get 50 instantly in lineups. I just want to look. I have some past lineup. Did I win? Oh, snap. I won $500. Oh, man, I'm so juiced. And the only one who didn't come through for me is freaking Wemby, dude. Out here
It was a
hurting
reboot,
people.
wasn't it? Because he
You like
got yeah,
that?
you're
You
good.
like
It
that?
was a reboot.
Look at that.
Dude, that was great. Who did that with you yesterday? Who filled this out with you?
Me, all by my mother freaking self. Shakira, I
Yeah.
had Shakira Austin in there just to stunt, just
See,
to
but you
flex.
won't now since I filled it out, you automatically have my bad
No, it's
mojo
okay.
with this, so you're gonna
I
lose
was
the slip
I know.
probably.
So they did they give me did I just not get that one right because he knocked that
Well,
dude
he
out?
got ejected, so they just that's the right thing to do. They rebooted you because Prize Picks is great.
Oh yeah.
Did you see the elbow
Yes,
he
that makes
gave
me so juiced.
Nas Reed? Did you see the elbow?
Yeah, I did, dude. Sorry, Nas.
Dude.
That seemed gratuitous. What was that about?
Yeah. Do you think the Wolves have any chance to win the series real quick?
No.
Or no?
Well, no. Well, is it
Edwards is
2-2?
nice, dude. I think they can. A lot has to go right for them.
Hey,
Like,
maybe
dude, the
Victor
Spurs are just
Wembanyama
so
is
good.
secretly Draymond Green deep down. He's going to get himself ejected again. Who knows?
They have such a good
That
team.
was a
Look at
hothead
this.
move. Like, where did that come from? He
Yeah,
looked at him
such a
and like cocked back and was like, "Let me get you in
yeah.
the jaw."
I
Like, ooh,
respected that
that's
honestly because he's such a docile guy. I'm glad he just said screw it and just. I mean, I'm not like he shouldn't have elbowed him there, but
cost
like
him
he
a game,
should have
but
elbowed
didn't
him in
cost
like
me any
the
money because of Prize Picks. Thank you. All right,
yeah.
I got a question for you. Are the
Okay.
Niners overly optimistic about George Kittle's return? They keep saying we're not going to rule out Week 1, and they didn't add any tight end other than some dude as an undrafted free agent who caught like 10 passes last year at Penn State while 2 other tight ends caught more. And they could have gotten David and Njoku, but they were like, nah, we're good. We got Jake Tonjes and Luke Farrell, who needed a year to learn our system. Luke Farrell actually is hella good. Don't sleep on Luke. What do you think? No, it's really just like don't overreact because George is coming back and he's special. He's different.
I mean, he is different, but he's coming off of a serious injury and he's old. And if they play him week 1, they deserve to win 0 games next year. Why would you rush him back? It's one game. Like, I don't
He's
want to
gonna
see
be
George.
up.
I don't want to see George back till week 10. Let's be real. He's not even going to play until minimum week 6. It's the Niners, dude. They say a guy's going to return 1 week. He returns 8 weeks later.
I have a plea to the Niners. I know you are leaving the door open for Week 1, and you love when your players come back early from serious injuries, let him come back too late. Implore him to take a little extra time, man. He's going to be 33. He's one of the greatest players in franchise history. He tore his hamstring last year before tearing his Achilles. If he comes back, I mean, even if he comes back at the right time, there's a high likelihood that he pulls a groin or pulls a hamstring or has some other soft tissue lower body injury. Be super careful, because if he's healthy and full speed, full health when the playoffs come around, you just might win the Super Bowl. That's what's most important here.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's stupid. Like, I don't understand the thinking. Like, Tonjes was fine last year until he wasn't, when you played elite teams. But I mean,
like
we don't have their schedule yet. But like, okay, they play one great team to start the year. We know that, the Rams. Don't play Kittle. Just let Tonjes go off. In fact, like, I don't really care if they win or lose this game. That game specifically, because it's the first game of the season. I want to be good again down the stretch, because the Niners typically play their best football in November, December, and January. And I hope they're healthy by that point. I don't care about September or October. If they rush him back like they did Brock Purdy, I mean, this is just not a serious organization then. Like, I don't care. Like, any real organization, like even the Celtics mishandled Jason Tatum by allowing him to return, because he almost got hurt again. So, like,
is it possible that the reason the Niners didn't go get Njoku isn't because they're so optimistic about George, but because they're super optimistic about Jake Tonjes, like I am?
Yeah. Yeah. They know he's a great pass catcher.
He's good.
He is good. He can't.
He's not great, but he is legitimately good. I think
he's legitimately good. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not a great blocker like Kittle. Like, he's not close, but like,
no.
He can catch passes. Isn't that all they need him to do? Like, what? Like,
they need someone catching passes over the middle.
Luke Farrell.
He's so bad though. He's
Why
awful.
would you take okay, when has it ever worked out to sign someone away from the Jacksonville Jaguars and give him a bag?
Christian
Has
Kirk.
there ever been a case in history where that's worked out? No offense to the Jaguars. With all due respect, I don't think there's ever been a case where that's worked out.
Blake Bortles.
Case in point.
Marquise Lee.
What did Maurice Jones-Drew
Taylor?
Just saying, not the most. I know they're a direct. They're going in the right direction, but yeah, I mean, Devin Lloyd should play fine for. Didn't Carolina take him? He should play fine for Carolina. Devin Lloyd, the linebacker from Jacksonville, like he'll play. And ETN will look okay for New Orleans, but beside like a tight end who just blocks, dude, what are we doing?
To me, though, I just feel like the Niners are thinking that, Tonjes will hold it down and then Kittle come back and we'll be fine. They need to be looking for the next tight end, unless they think it's Tonjes. And as much as I like Tonjes, he's a rotational tight end. He's a number 2 tight end. I think maybe it's not. I just couldn't believe that they didn't draft a tight end. I figured probably a good idea, considering the Rams drafted one in round 2 for the second year in a row. They're hoarding. They have like 5 of them. The Niners need another one, I think. But they have Juszczyk. Excuse me. Juszczyk. I forgot.
Yeah, and the only way to beat Seattle is to run that 12 personnel, right? So the Rams personnel. Typically, I mean, that was the only team.
If defenses want to go smaller, don't you go bigger? Like, defenses want to go smaller.
Well, that's why the Rams are smart, dude. People are hating on the Rams. They got like 7 tight ends.
It is smart.
They're the only team that scored, I believe, 25 points twice on Seattle?
Yeah.
Yeah, the only team. So, like,
because the thing about 13 it's a 1 wide receiver formation, man. If they want to be in a 3 nickel personnel grouping, then why do you want more wide receivers on the field? You want more tight ends on the field to make those DBs tackle and run fit.
And you could argue that the Niners perhaps are better equipped to run a 12 personnel because Brock Purdy is so good at throwing those seam routes and passes over the middle. So, like, why wouldn't you run Tonjes, Kittle, and whoever you drafted out there?
Because when you have a weapon like Juszczyk, there's no use. You don't need to.
I mean, you could play Mike Evans at tight end, I guess.
He doesn't want to block. All right, I got a question for you. $72 million in cap space, not doing nothing with it. They're going to roll over some, but do you think they'll actually ultimately sign?
Yes.
Joey Bosa, or is Romello Height just too good?
Yes, they're going to sign Joey Bosa. They want to appease Nick, man. I feel like this is a super important season for Nick, and they didn't like the price Joey wanted, and it's obvious no one else does because he's still not signed. And he's just the perfect 49er. He's always hurt, just like his brother. But I think they're hoping that, like, oh, maybe he'll revigorate Nick into having like an 18 sack season because his brother's in town. And look, he's big. They don't have any big edge rushers that are good. Like Keon White is fine. He's okay. Keon White is not getting, he's never going to have more than 10 sacks in a season in his career. Like he'll be lucky to get 5, right? Like he's fine. Okay. Joey would at least provide some flexibility. Like I know they are probably cool with their D line, but there's no safeties on the market. And you have 71 million in cap space, guys. Like I get you want to save it for maybe some player at the deadline. Go and get Joey, dude. Give him 1 year, 18 million. I don't care. Overpay. Like at this point,
It just
that's where
seems
I'm at.
like if they're sticking with the wide 9 defense, then like Romello Height isn't a starter.
But Joey makes
And they're
sense
going to
for
go
wide
into
nine.
week 1 with Sam Okwanu as a starter, and then
God.
hope that Michael Williams can come back and be a starter with no training camp coming off of ACL. He might be terrible this year. He might not be really himself until 2027. So, I mean, as long as you want to be the most conservative Republican team in the league, then go all in, dude. Really embrace your political base and bring in freaking Joey Bosa, dude. I think just their sheer. Oh, okay, I'll stop. But I'm just saying, I think they could terrorize quarterbacks in more ways than one. That's what I'm saying. Together,
Yes,
Bosa.
together.
I'm not against it. I think again, if you want to be this wide 9 defense, then Romello is a designated pass rusher who's a rookie, and I don't even know what you're going to get from him. He might be nothing. He was nothing for 5 years in college. So yeah, man, spend some money and bring in another guy. And if he's not good, it's not my money.
Yeah, I agree. Plus, he fits the wide 9 scheme. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not just him. Bring him and Clowney in, dude. I don't care. You already have an old roster. Get 2 guys that have actually. The Niners love to get these guys that they're like, we can turn them into good players, and then like didn't produce anywhere else. Like remember Yator Gross Matos, good player, always injured. Let's get him. Maybe he won't be injured with us. Maybe we
Yeah,
can
we
turn
have
him
a
into
great
something.
training staff, and we definitely
Right.
don't have our entire facility
Like,
next to
dude,
this weird, huge electrical substation, which definitely doesn't have any impact on
like
soft tissue. And
the, the,
we're
the
fine. We're the team that's
They
going to
have
rehabilitate this
71
guy.
million, Grant. Like
Yeah.
throw money at Clowney and Bosa, and if they get injured, they get injured. If they don't, you get guys that can actually sack
But
the
why would you
quarterback.
spend extra money when the goal isn't to win a Super Bowl? The goal is to just be in contention. Why
Well,
spend extra
apparently
money?
that's
They're
what it is.
already in
I would want to
contention.
win a Super Bowl. I look if I was GM of the team, I people would Niner
But
fans would
winning a
hate,
Super
hate
Bowl is hard, and it only breaks your heart when you come close and don't get it done. Isn't it better to like not
get
even
rid of those
try?
players. It's better to. Well, I'm fine with them being bad next year because next year is an incredible draft. Like if they're going to be bad, please let it be next year. But we know how the season's going to play out. They're going to
If
win
Christian gets
11.
hurt, they're going to be bad. I don't care who they have on their team.
Yeah, because Brock Purdy can't play quarterback without Christian McCaffrey.
And Kyle Shanahan can't call plays without Christian McCaffrey, at least the last 3
Exactly. It's
years.
not all on
Yeah.
Brock. I like Brock.
No.
Again, I'm not a Brock hater.
Yeah. It's a whole systemic thing.
I've been a proponent of Brock being a top 10 quarterback in Kyle's system. I just think he's not worth 55 million. That's always been my point about why I would trade him or never give him that deal. Because I think Mac could also be a top 10 quarterback. But back to the point, like you're right. If you look at the stats, it's not just Purdy. Garoppolo was way worse without Christian McCaffrey, right? Like all the quarterbacks are worse without a guy that can just make the linebackers honest and make corners honest by his route running and pass catching, right? Like, and the fact of the matter is, Grant, he's probably going to get hurt. Like, I hope not. But if we're just looking at history, there has never been, and you can quote me on this. It's facts. I looked it up before the show. There has never been a running back that has had as many touches as Christian McCaffrey that has played 17 games the following season. It's never happened.
And like
Never.
he's been that guy a couple of times who's had a 400 touches and come back the next year and done nothing. We saw it in 2023 to 2024.
He has had a year where, remember when he got traded to the 49ers, he missed a few games. In Carolina, he was like, he was missing a few. He got traded. So he played like, I think it was 15, and he had, I think, 100 less touches than he had last season. He came back and had another all-time year, and that's when they went to the Super Bowl, and then he got injured. So, like, this is different because they worked him coming off of a serious injury to the bone, man. Like, I want him to stay healthy. I'm knocking on wood. I hope, like, he's my favorite player in the NFL, probably one of my favorite people, an all-time player who I wish would get a Super Bowl. But like that's the reason why I have Kalen Black as like an offensive rookie of the year candidate. Like I think Kalen Black's gonna get 1,000 yards. I'm gonna stand on it. I'm gonna stand on
That was
business.
my takeaway from rookie mini camp too. That I was glad that I took Kalen Black in my
Dude, he's
in
good.
with
I told you.
with
I
the
watched
last
his
pick in
tape. I
round
watched his
2.
tape pre-draft. I had him as a top 10 running back. I didn't have him as the RB2 in the class. But you know what? You know what? I like his demeanor too. Like when you see him getting interviewed, he's strong as an ox. Like his biceps have like 10 biceps on them. He seems really nice and he blocks, dude, and he can pass protect. So he's going to see the field before Jordan James. Like Jordan James is
Yeah,
not
I'm
the
glad I
pass
got him.
protector Black is.
Joseph Ernberg says, "I heart Tonjes, ship Brock Purdy and Ricky to Amazon warehouse."
Oh, that's
All
mean.
right,
Brock
we
led
got
us to a
some
Super Bowl.
we got some news. The Rams have opened up as 2.5-point favorites over the Niners week 1 in Australia. This kills me. I think it's fair considering the Rams were legitimately better than the Niners last year and on paper are still better than the Niners. In my opinion, I think the Niners are still the 3rd best team in their division. Doesn't mean the Niners won't win week 1. They beat the Seahawks week 1. Week 1 is week 1. It's weird, and this game's going to be in Australia. But what kills me about this game is that if it were in LA, as it probably should have been, I don't think it would have been a 2.5-point spread because it's a home game for the Niners in LA. I think it would have been closer to even, but because it's in Australia, the Rams actually get a quote unquote home field advantage, which isn't cheating. I mean, they deserve a home field advantage. It's hilarious that they moved from St. Louis back here to get less of a home field advantage.
Well, duh. It's their own fault.
Hilarious to me.
I can explain that to you. I mean, I
You
was
live in
born.
LA. I went to school in LA.
Yeah,
What were they
I was
thinking?
born and raised in Los Angeles. We didn't have a
Yes.
team. My dad
Right.
is from the Bay Area, and I'm a diehard Niners fan. When they came back, I wasn't gonna switch to my division rival. I'm Niners till the day I die. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and that's a lot of
Yeah,
people in LA.
the only football team of the following in LA is USC.
Well, it's no, I would say, yeah. I mean, that's the biggest following.
At least
That's
I
the
was down there
only,
from '06 to 2010.
yeah. I mean, that's when they were good. I mean, we suck now. We're atrocious.
Mark
Uh,
Sanchez.
yeah, Sanchez, yeah, man.
Sanchez.
Will he be employed again? You can bet,
We
yeah.
beat them in '06, my freshman year, and just lit stuff. I didn't light anything on fire, but people were lighting things on fire in Westwood. We were so excited. I just got into school. I was like, we do this every year, right? We beat them
Well,
every year, right?
UCLA is going to be good, by the way. Before it's a little tangent, but like Chesney is an elite coach. I'm trying to go there next
Is he like
weekend.
Signetti?
Yeah, dude, he might be the next Signetti. They won't be as good as SC this year, but in 2 years, I could see them being as good as SC.
Big
Truly,
UCLA fan, as you can
I
see.
mean, what I will say is Sanchez, though, it's that whole situation's sad, man. He was a great.
Hold on, let's get back to the Rams and the Australia game. I'm going to this. Do you feel bad for the Niners that they don't get their yearly LA home game?
I don't really care. I mean, win a game, dude. Doesn't matter. You're supposed to go on the road and like.
Don't the Niners complain a little too much about
They
their
complain
schedule?
about a lot, dude. Like
Rest
like
disadvantage,
them
travel.
even disclosing in public that it was funny the Rams like lobbied for this game.
Rams don't complain about it.
I know, but it's just hilarious how Kyle was like, yeah, you know, the Rams lobbied for this game. And Lynch was like, yeah, the Rams lobbied. Who cares, dude? They're only saying that because they're jealous that the Rams have won 2 Super Bowls since they last won a Super Bowl and that they're rivals and that they're better than them.
I was at the NFL owners meetings at that cocktail party, and I can't say who said it. It was all off the record, but someone came up to me and said, our guys need to suck it up when it comes to the Australia trip. And you know what? Part of me feels like they do. I mean, it sucks that they have to do it, and I feel like the owners should have had their back and probably fought against it and shouldn't have been so eager. But like now that you have to do it, it doesn't help to complain. It only makes it harder. You kind of mind over matter this one. You got to embrace it because if you don't, you're going to lose.
Oh, I mean, this is a doomsday scenario for them too. A most injured team in the league flies like 18 hours, plays probably the best team in the league when they're not ready, and then the following week they probably lose to whoever they play because of the travel, and then they play in Mexico City again. So this is all pointing to like, I know like the over under in Vegas, I think for the Niners is 11 or 10 and a half, which it typically is. I would stay away, man, because if they get injured and like McCaffrey gets hurt and they're already 0-2 to start the season, like this could be one of the 2024 years type of down years. Like Kyle's not bad enough to like he could coach a bunch of college kids to like 5 wins. Like they'll be better than Arizona. I'm not worried about that. But like could they lose 10 to 11 games? Yeah, I think they could, honestly. I think they could. The NFL did screw them. There's no doubt about it. They shouldn't be
If
playing
Christian
two.
McCaffrey goes down, they are in trouble. Their whole offense is built around him. And the way I look at Kalen Black is that he's like probably the ideal backup in terms of skill set for Christian McCaffrey. Like, I think they like him because he complements Christian. He gets the tough yards. He's explosive. But if Christian goes down, they talk about him being like a receiver, Kalen Black. Yeah, man, but not like Christian. That's a whole different thing, and you haven't replaced that skill set.
I just think
And we really haven't. We have seen Purdy without it. They lost.
He's Elijah Mitchell. He's Elijah Mitchell on trend. That's who Kalen Black is. On roids. He's just better.
Can't say that. Don't use the.
I think he's
word.
better. That's my evaluation.
I know you said it. You meant it metaphorically.
Yeah. No, he's not on trend. No. He's not. He's completely legally playing football.
Thank you.
I'm saying,
but yeah, he definitely seems like a much stronger version of Elijah Mitchell.
Let me rephrase it. He's Elijah Mitchell plus if he was a streaming service.
There you go.
Like Disney Plus.
All right. Do you trust Marquise Siegel to break out? Because it seems like the Niners are counting on it. I mean, it's not going to be Jair Brown. He's had ample opportunity. He's just not that good. Marquise Siegel as a rookie was intriguing because he made a lot of tackles. He was around the ball. He didn't make plays in coverage, but he was there. And then he started that final playoff game against Seattle and had 6 tackles. He was in the game. It kind of makes you feel like maybe the Niners feel he could be a guy, or hope he could be a guy who takes a leap in year 2. What do you think? What are the odds?
I think the odds are pretty high. I like Marquise Siegel. I'm with you. I think he's better than Jair Brown. I think he's going to be better than Jair Brown. And the reason why I'm mad they didn't draft the safety is because of Jair Brown, not because I was worried about Marquise Siegel. Like, the dude's tough as nails. He has the right mentality. He plays football the right way. And once they get pressure on the quarterback, he'll look way better. They asked him to do too much as a rook. He got cooked a little bit after a good start to the year. Like, I'm expecting a big leap from him. I'm expecting a big leap from CJ West as well. Like, a lot of the second year guys should take a big leap. Stout was already good. So it might end up being one of their better draft classes comparatively to the Lynch era, the last 6 years.
If Jair Brown's going to have a future in the NFL, he probably disagrees with me, but I think it's not at safety. He's just not fast enough. I think he needs to either be like a big nickel, which is they tried him at last year, and I thought he was pretty solid at that, or like just become a linebacker.
He's just fine, Grant. Like, he's not like he's fine. He's not a horrible football player.
He's slow and not particularly instinctual. Like, he's not Talanoa Hufanga. He's just a step late to me in everything against the run, against the pass. I like him better closer to the line of scrimmage.
That's why they should have paid Hufanga.
They should have paid Hufanga. That was one of the stranger things, because if you look at their draft record the last few years, he was one of their best picks. And
he got only hurt. All-Pro that they drafted since 2020.
He was so good for Denver last year.
Yeah, I mean,
last
he was first team All-Pro again, right? Wasn't he first team All-Pro?
He's a hell of a player, and he's younger than Jair Brown. He's not an old player. They messed that one up. Last guy, and then I got to get out of here. Ricky Pearsall. Do you trust Ricky to break out this year? There were signs that he might have been on the verge of it early last year. He was one of the Niners' best players against Seattle. He was one of the main reasons they beat the Super Bowl champions last year. Cooked Rick Woolen. And then by week 4, he was done, essentially. Do you think, I mean, no one questions his toughness because he got shot in the chest and bounced back in 7 weeks. That's the gnarliest thing of all time. But like, that doesn't necessarily mean he's built to play 17 games a season in the NFL. It's a different thing. We're not questioning his toughness, more of like football durability. What do you think? Is this the year he puts it all together?
I want to say yes. If he's healthy, yes, but it's a big if. And the reason why is this is just a fact. This is not a shot on Brock Purdy. It's just how he plays. He loves to layer the ball over the middle. Skinny receivers that run, posts or, dig routes or coming into the middle of the field. If they get hit, they get hurt. Like that, they're just skinny. And Ayuk got hurt on a play on a hospital ball by Brock Purdy, right? Like, Pearsall is going to get a lot of hospital balls. Is his body able to sustain that level of contact? To this point of his career, no. But he did show a lot of promise those first few weeks when he was healthy against Seattle, against Jacksonville, and all those games. Like, that's fine, great. I think he can be an elite receiver. I do. It's all about health with him, but he's also not getting any younger. It's not like he's 22, Grant. He's 25 already. So it's like, this is it. He is not a 49er in 27 if he does not break out this year. I will 100% tell you right now.
I really like Ricky Pearsall, and I think he isn't scared to go over the middle. I don't think he's shies away from contact the way someone else that the Niners drafted high kind of did. So I'm not questioning his toughness the way I think people did with this guy I'm about to name, but I think he ultimately has too much in common with Dante Pettis in the sense that they have the same body. I mean, Dante Pettis was 6'1.5" 186. Ricky Pearsall's 6'1", 189. And I just don't think Dante was built to be a starting wide receiver in the NFL. He was still in the league. He had like a 10-year career or close to it, but couldn't give him a lot of targets. He just wasn't good enough. And I feel like Ricky, you could try to make him a starter and you could give him 8 targets a game, but probably by the 7th game or the 5th game, he's going to be hurt. And I think the Niners are wondering, like, how eager are you to come back and play? Because we want guys who are like super eager to play hurt, and you don't seem like you are. So I don't know. I think he's going the way of Dante Pettis, and I don't think he's going to get another contract with the Niners.
I hope we're wrong. By the way, I was going to ask you with the free agents available before we hop off, like, what about AJ Espensa? He's
Sell
younger.
me on AJ Espensa.
No, I'm just saying, like, he's not that great, but like the medicals, like he was supposed to re-sign with Buffalo, I believe, or no, he signed with the Browns, I think, for 1 year, 6 million, and they pulled it because of the medicals. But like, 6 million is nothing, man. Like, even if he has bad medicals, you get a guy in the building that might be able to be healthy and is 27 and can play edge rusher. Like, why not? If you don't want to go the older route with Clowney and Bosa, like he's available, dude. Like,
Because they have Cam Sample, man. They don't need anyone else. I mean, this guy, yeah, he had 6 sacks in 2024, 6 in 2023, 6.5 in 2022. Be better than what they got.
you know who I think they will inevitably sign? Can I leave you on this? And
Who?
this is going to piss off Hassan Reddick. That's going to be the guy they sign. It's going to be Hassan Reddick. I'm telling you. I'm telling you right now.
No, what I think they're going to do is sign no one and give Romello Hyde a chance. And if it doesn't work out with Romello, then they'll make the Chase Young trade or a mid-season trade that they should have made last year. That's my prediction. I don't think they're going to sign anyone.
Who do you think it would be for? Would it be Thibodeau? Would it be if the Giants?
It could be. I mean, there were like 5 guys last year who popped up as potential.
Like,
could it be Max Crosby?
Yeah, but he came out
Probably
with that
not.
rap song.
But whoever it is, I mean, it could be Thibodeau, it could be Brian Burns, it could be someone.
I think the Niners were immediately like, no, once he came out with that rap song. Like, they're tired of. I think they're tired.
Black Boy Max.
Yeah. He did not. I think John Lynch was probably like, yeah.
That's how you know someone's good at football, when like they can put out total bullshit songs. Everyone's like, nice.
I mean, it wasn't that bad. I expected him to be much worse. He's better than Darren Waller.
No, there's nothing worse than professional athletes rapping, because every song is like, man, grinded, no one believed in me, came from the bottom to the top, so hard. Yep. It's like, man, that's
Damian Lillard's
song I've ever heard.
That's his entire discography.
Hate songs like Damian Lillard used to make songs like that about how hard he's working in the gym, and like, I don't want to listen to
rap, unlike Miles Bridges. You know, who people were like glazing on social.
Athletic struggle.
Yeah. Well, what about Lonzo Ball? You like him as a rapper?
Haven't heard him rap.
What about Jello? What about Jello? His brother. Clown. He's making money though.
He UCLA for a minute, and then he got caught stealing stuff in Asia, and then Trump had to bail him out.
China. Yeah, with Cody Riley and the guy who ended up quitting the UCLA team, who was really good, but he left for mental health reasons.
Those were good times.
Cody Riley was a legend, bro. He was like the number 1 player when I was young, when I was playing AAU at 13, and we were about to play him, and he was the number 1 player in the world. But he never grew. He was 6'8".
That story was about Brandon playing AAU at 13.
Well, that was more about he inevitably was with Jello stealing in China, but he was able to finish his UCLA career and did very well. Jello obviously did not return to UCLA.
Yeah. This is the only show online with a UCLA guy and a USC guy. I don't know how I feel about it.
Dude, I'm not as anti-UCLA as you'd think. I don't hate them as much. I feel like we don't have a bone to stand on with them
because we're better than you.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but I would say we're just not as dominant as we used to be, so that it's a conversation.
We suck at everything except women's basketball, which is nice.
Dude, Corey Close is my neighbor.
I have no
She
idea who that
lives
is.
like 3 doors down. She's the head coach
Who's
of
that?
women's basketball.
Wow. I had a feeling you were
Yeah,
gonna
she's
say that.
great.
I'm
She's great.
locked in, as you
So
can tell.
I was glad they won. Like USC is going to win next year with Juju. We have the best women's basketball team in the world next year.
I mean,
So
it's fun to watch teams that win, but I think it's even more fun to watch teams that lose, which is why I'm locked in on the San Francisco Giants. Everyone, make sure you watch the Giants today. See how they blow it. Although they lost
they can't
yesterday,
be worse than
they
my
won
team.
yesterday.
They're not worse than my team. No one is. The Angels, no
You're an
one is
Angels
worse than the
fan?
Angels.
Oh,
Die hard. My dad was born in Anaheim, so I didn't have a choice, and they moved to the Bay Area, and that's when he became
where in the Bay?
a Niners fan. He moved, so he went to Stanford. So he lived there for a little bit in that area, and then he moved back, and he stayed a Niners fan.
My dad
So
went to Stanford too. We have that in common.
what time? What? I mean, I'm not going to tell you. You can just text me
In
off.
the 60s, from like
Yeah, well,
1965.
my
No,
dad went to
68 to
my dad went
74.
to law school there in 80. Well, he went to Claremont McKenna undergrad, then Stanford Law. He's a weird genius, one of those guys, you know.
Yeah, just like us. Well, everyone, thanks for watching. This has been our best show ever. Go have a good day. It's 11 o'clock on the West Coast on a Monday. Damn, dude. OTA's in about a week and a half, I think. Brandon, great stuff.
Yes, sir. We should talk
Take
some
care,
NBA
man.
draft. I'll have you on a stream. We can get you some
Let's do it.
NBA draft.
Warriors pick at 11th. I got to go figure out who they're going to take.